everyone, I'm Clay Culwell with the TDOT Safety Team, and we appreciate you taking a moment to join us for this week's video. You may be aware that each month we report out on personal injuries and property damage accidents involving our TDOT family members. In this report, which is available on our SharePoint site and is showcased on both TDOT TV and in the road ahead, we share information that tells what types of property damage accidents we're involved with and how we're getting hurt. Let's take a moment and look at the most frequent types of each that occurred in 2024. We'll start with the personal injury side. By far, the most common type of injury experienced by TDOT workers this past year consisted of a strain or sprain. Real examples include missing a step while getting down from the cab of a dump truck, attempting to pick up something that was just too heavy, and even as simple as lifting a shovel of material. When you think about it, none of these activities sound like they're really dangerous, but each instance ended up causing pain or discomfort for a team member while also imposing a cost to our organization. And the real kicker is that most of these injuries could have been prevented by being more careful, asking for a little help, or by stretching and flexing our bodies at the beginning of our shift. The reality is that none of us are getting any younger, and we all need to do a better job at thinking about how we might get hurt before we perform any task, no matter how simple it may seem. When it comes to property damage, backing into something while operating a vehicle continues to be the most frequent event. In 2024 alone, we backed into something nearly 50 times, including a backover accident that put a person in the hospital, and each instance was preventable. What do we mean by that? Well, there's never a time when you couldn't have avoided backing into something. Simply saying, "I didn't see it," is no excuse. You should have checked things out before you put the vehicle in motion, and if you couldn't see, then you should have asked someone to spot you. Is that a pain? Sure. But so is having to deal with filling out an accident report, waiting for police to show up, or having to deal with the new mandatory refresher training requirements. In fact, this has been such a consistent problem in our agency that we're developing a formal policy on backing TDOT vehicles and equipment that will be implemented very soon. Here in the safety office, it's our job to do whatever we can to reduce accidents and injuries. But we do this for you. If your equipment is damaged, then you may not be able to do your job. And if you get hurt, you may not be able to enjoy the time you have when you're not here at work. And that's the most valuable time you have. In 2025, please help us reduce the frequency of these and other types of accidents and injuries by thinking about what you do before you do it. Be realistic and conservative when performing a physical task, and don't be afraid to ask for help, even when you know you could pick that thing up by yourself. When operating a vehicle or equipment, get out and look before you back up, and get a spotter if you think you might have trouble seeing behind you. Following these simple steps could save you from pain and suffering or from embarrassment, and will show that you're committed to being safe for the right reasons.